All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell. 1-800-610-7035, worldwide toll-free. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com on all social media networks, Xzone Radio TV, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My name is Rob McConnell, and this is the X Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And I'll tell you something, after doing this show now for over 22 years, interviewing over 3,800 and some odd guests, I will tell you that fact is stranger than fiction. My guest this hour is psychic and medium Janice Carlson. We're going to be speaking to Janice about her new book entitled Soul Sensing, How to Communicate with Your Dead Loved Ones. And first of all, Janice, thank you very much for joining us tonight, and congratulations on your book.
Oh, thanks, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Janice.
I started out as a copywriter, an advertising copywriter in the Minneapolis area, and then I wrote some novels for New York publishers, and it was during that time that I hired someone to do promo work for me, some graphics work. And when I went to her house, she was freelancing out of her house, I realized I'd known the former occupant, and she said, I wish before they'd sold the house to me that they told me it was haunted. And I said, gosh, I've been here so many times, and the former owner never mentioned anything like that. That just isn't sounding quite right. So as I walked farther into her house and brought my promo work in for her to take a look at, I was caught by this photo on her piano of an older, middle-aged woman, I'd say. And I said, I don't know how I know this is this, but I'm just going to tell you that I think that the person that you think is haunting you is that woman in the photo there. And she said, that's my mother. She died about 6 years ago in a horseback riding accident.
Oh, heavens.
And so I knew right away something really odd was happening, and I began bringing through messages to her. I said the first thing that came to my mind was the words Lady Jane, and whoever was talking in my head kept saying Lady Jane, so I finally just said it to Jody, the graphics artist person, and she, to my amazement, she just started to weep, and she said that was my mother's nickname for me when I was a little kid. I haven't heard it in years. And so we realized something odd was happening, and Jody just sort of had the wherewithal to keep asking questions, and I kept answering. So it was as though this information was just being channeled through me. And I could see how much it meant to Jody, and I understood how much it meant to her because I had two parents who died by the time I was 10 years old. So I think somehow I got hardwired to heaven and didn't know it until pretty much that moment.
It's so nice to know that there are people like you who take a genuine interest in helping those who are suffering. They may not know they're still suffering, but here
right.
They have a person who's passed on it, and you're able to reconnect, like you're the fuse in the fuse box.
Right. Yeah, I saw how much it meant to her, and I was very buried in book deadlines, but at the time. But when there were deaths amongst my friends or in the family or whatever, and I would offer to do readings, medium readings. Although, to tell you the truth, at the time that this happened, back in 1992, I didn't even know what a medium was. There wasn't, there weren't TV mediums on the
right.
air and things. So there just was nothing to call this exactly. My only reference was probably gypsy seances from movies or something. So I just really didn't have a frame of reference. But I knew that it was a really spiritual thing. It wasn't scary, and it wasn't ghost hunting per se. It was, nothing like that. It was really genuinely healing for the people that I did it for.
Janice, you and I have to take a commercial break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Thanks very much for taking time out of your day to join us here tonight on the X-Zone. X-Zone Nation, Janice Carlson is our special guest this hour. She is the author of Soul Sensing, How to Communicate with Your Dead Loved Ones. She is a medium and a psychic. Her website is www.janicecarlson.com. In 1992, Janice accidentally discovered her ability to communicate with the dead. Since that time, she has done thousands of professional afterlife communications for clients throughout the United States. And this is something I've never heard before. With a money-back guarantee of contact. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break in 2 minutes with Janice, discussing her book and much more. Once again, she's the author of Soul Sensing, How to Communicate with Your Dead Loved Ones. My name's Rob McConnell. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifeology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X-Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled lite.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
X-Zone, Janice Carlson is our guest this hour. She is the author of Soul Sensing, How to Communicate with Your Dead Loved Ones. Her website is www.janicecarlson.com. And Janice, I've been doing this show for over 22 years, and I have never, ever had a medium or a psychic come on the show who says, hey, I've got a money-back guarantee of contact. How did that come about? And please don't take this the wrong way. How many times have you had to give back money on your guarantee?
Maybe once or twice,
Wow.
I'd say.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But I myself, if I see a psychic, now psychics are notorious for not being able to read well for themselves. They're
Right.
kind of myopic. And so if I have somebody read for me and I come away from it feeling like it was really a vague reading, not particularly accurate, then I guess I come away sort of unsatisfied, and I didn't want that to happen for my clients. But it's especially important with medium work to make sure that you're talking to the right party when you're doing a medium session. So in other words, we start out by gathering, I give them identifying information about their deceased loved one to make sure that we're talking to the party they want to speak with before we go forward with the session.
Now, how do you know that you're actually connecting to the right party? And how does it work? Do you have, when you've made the connection with the other side, are the other parties there, or do you have to search them out? How do you do it?
Well, there are identifying pieces of information. The only thing that I know about a deceased loved one going into a session is, and I'm strict about this with my clients, that they not tell me anything more than what relationship this deceased loved one was to them. Was it an uncle? Was it their pet, dog, whatever it might have been? And then I bring through identifying information about that person, what they looked like, did they wear glasses, various things about their education and so forth and so on, so that we can confirm in the first 5 minutes or so if we have the right person on the line. There are times, though, that when a spirit is not available to talk, or there's some things going on that are blocking the communications, and in that case we might try on another date, or I may just reimburse them their PayPal payment and have them try some other medium that might be better for them, might just be a better chemistry for them.
What would a spirit or departed one be doing on the other side to be busy where they can't actually make a connection with their loved one?
Well, it's rare, I think, because we do set up appointments ahead of time. I don't do this on the spur of the moment. It's done by appointment only. So I think by being an appointment-only medium, we are telling the dead, too, what time, what day to be available for this. So it's pretty rare that we have somebody who's not available to talk with us. But it happens sometimes. It can be a variety of things. They may just be, again, engaged in some other activity, or they may have reincarnated to the earth. I mean, it could be a variety of things.
What kind of activities might a spirit be doing on the other side?
Sometimes it's something that's very crucial. The help that they give to the living can be quite time sensitive. When we have a crisis on the earth, whether it's the 2004 tsunami or whatever it may be, there are spirits that help the living get through a crisis like that. And they may be involved in some sort of what I'd call angel work on earth at the time, And so it depends, again, on how much notice they got that we're going to be talking to them and that sort of thing.
So how do you give them notice?
Well, we schedule a date and a time to speak, and usually I'm booked out at least a week or two. And that generally, again, will give them enough time. I'd say maybe 1 in 50 people that I read for some reason or another, we're not reaching who we need to reach at that time.
But I guess I was asking, how do you make an appointment with a spirit?
I don't know that part, and I think it's because of my connection to heaven. I think that my connection, when I write it down in a book and I say, yes, okay, give me a call at 11 o'clock next Sunday and we'll do this session,
I gotcha.
I think that when I say that, the spirits hear me.
What are some of the most common signs of a spirit visitation?
Well, the easiest